You know that moment when everything's fine. You're just hustling through your shift at the clinic in this dusty speck of a town called Willow Creek, Kansas, where the biggest drama is usually who forgot to mow their lawn again, and then bam. One split-second choice flips your whole world upside down. Yeah, that's how it started for me. Sarah Jenkins, just a regular ER nurse with calluses on her hands from bandaging up farmhands and chasing toddlers with chickenpox. It was one of those sticky summer evenings, the kind where the air hangs heavy like wet laundry, and I was cutting across the old switchyard on my way home from a 12-hour grind, my scrubs still smelling like antiseptic and stale coffee. That's when I heard it, Tommy's little voice, sharp and scared, yipping like a pup caught in a snare, his sneaker wedged tight in the rusty ties just as that freight train's headlights swallowed the horizon whole. I didn't pray for superpowers or divine intervention, hell. I barely had time to curse under my breath. I just dropped my bag and lunged, gravel biting into my knees like a bad ex's parting shot, fingers clawing at that damn knot while the horn wailed like Judgment Day itself. Tommy's mom, Lisa, was frozen on the platform with the rest of the gawkers, her face the color of ash, hands over her mouth as if screaming would make it all rewind. And me? Heart slamming against my ribs like it wanted out, nails scraping raw, yanking until snap lace gave way, and I scooped that squirming kid up, rolling us both clear as the beast thundered past, whipping dust devils and sparks right in our faces. We hit the ground hard, Tommy buried in my arms, his tiny chest heaving against mine, and for a beat, the world's just this roaring void of iron and wind, then nothing. Silence, broken only by his whimpers and Lisa's wail as she crashed down beside us, pulling him close, whispering, "My boy, oh God, my boy," like a mantra against the dark. Folks started murmuring then, clustering like they do in a town this small where everyone's either kin or knows your dirt, some clapping awkward, others just staring like I'd grown wings. "Sarah, you just," one old-timer stammered, but I waved it off, brushing grit from my jeans, my pulse still jackhammering, thinking, what the hell just happened? I mean, sure, I'd patch up scraped knees and stitch up bar fights, but this was me staring down a 2-ton death machine for a kid I barely knew. Lisa looked up through tears, clutching Tommy like he'd vanish if she blinked, and said, "How do I even?" I cut her off gentle. "Just get him home, Lisa. Warm milk, bedtime stories, the works." But as the crowd thinned, shuffling back to their pickups and porch swings, I caught it. 2 shadows at the lot's edge, Harleys idling low like predators scenting blood, riders in faded denim and leather eyeing me not with cheers, but something sharper, curiosity, maybe, or calculation. I shook it off, chalked it up to post-adrenaline jitters, but deep down, that knot in my gut whispered, "This ain't over, girl." Not by a long shot. Willow Creek's the sort of place where secrets ferment slow, like moonshine in a backwoods. Still folks nod polite at the feed store, but whisper plenty once you're out of earshot, and by morning, my little dive into the tracks had bubbled up into legend. I pushed through the clinic doors, expecting the usual lineup of coughs and sprains, but instead, it's this electric hush, patients peeking over dog-eared magazines, the receptionist sliding me a coffee with a wink that says "Hero Alert." Sarah Jenkins, the track tamer herself. Doc Harlan chuckles from his office, but it lands flat for me. I'm replaying that horn in my head, the way Tommy's eyes went wide as saucers, wondering if I'd really saved him or just delayed some cosmic bill coming due. Lisa shows up midday, Tommy trailing her like a shadow, clutching a beat-up Tonka truck. He rolls nervous across my desk. "He wouldn't eat till we came," she says, voice cracking soft. "Says you're his guardian angel now." Tommy pipes up, all gap-toothed grin. "You jumped like Spider-Man. Miss Sarah, did you see the train's teeth?" I laugh, ruffle his hair, but inside, it's this quiet storm, pride mixing with panic. Because who am I to carry that weight? Just a girl who left the city lights for quieter air after my folks passed, thinking nursing here would be steady, not some spotlight I never auditioned for. But glory's got teeth in Willow Creek, especially when it bites into the wrong throats. See, this town's got its underbelly, folks like the Harlan boys, cousins to half the county, running moonshine and protection rackets from their daddy's old garage on the outskirts, resenting anyone who stirs the pot, 'cause it draws badges from Topeka sniffing around their family business. They'd been leaning on Lisa for months, widowed young, scraping by on waitress tips, shaking her down 4 tolls. On the back roads, she cuts to work. All cause Tommy's dad crossed them once in a bar brawl over a bad debt. My stunt? It painted a target. Suddenly Lisa's not just easy pickings. She's got a knight in scrubs, and that chafes their egos raw. First sign subtle. I'm restocking gauze when the phone buzzes a blocked number, heavy breathing, then a gravelly drawl. Heroes bleed too, nurse. Stay in your lane. I hang up, chalk it up to crank calls. But that night, walking home under sodium lamps flickering like bad omens, I feel ice sprinkling the back of my neck, and sure enough, 2 silhouettes peel from the alley, Harlan kin by the stink of chew and cheap bourbon wafting off them. They saunter close, boots scraping deliberate, one twirling a socket wrench like it's a 6-shooter in some B-Western. Evening, savior. The taller one, call him Zeke, all sneer and stubble drawls, blocking my path under the busted streetlight. His buddy, shorter, meaner-eyed, taps a tire iron against his thigh, rhythmic like a countdown. Heard you like playin' White Knight. Tommy's ma owes usual ways has, since her man stiffed the pot. You stickin' that nose in, makes things personal. My mouth goes dry as dust, but I plant my feet, chin up, don't flinch. Sarah, they feed on fear and fire back. A kid sneaker ain't a debt collector's game, Zeke. Back off before I call the sheriff and turn your tolls into headlines. He laughs, low and ugly, leaning in till I smell the rot on his breath. Sheriff? That old coot's golfing with our uncle. And you? One wrong step on those tracks again, and luck's all you'll pray for. The wrench whistles air close enough to ruffle my hair, and I duck instinctive, heart jackrabbiting. But thin vroom, this deep-throated rumble rolls in from the dark, like thunder chasing lightning, and they freeze, heads whipping toward the glow of twin headlights crawling slow down Elm. Zeke mutters a curse, iron wolvishit, and they melt back into shadows, leaving me shaking, whispering to the empty street. What the hell was that? Turns out, those riders weren't ghosts, they were the Iron Wolves MC, a pack of road-worn vets and gearheads who'd claimed the county's fringes for years, keeping the Harlan scum in check with fists and favors. Not cause they're saints, but cause chaos bleeds their bottom line too. Their prez, Jack, Iron, Harlano relation to the trash, thank God had caught wind of my track dive from a prospect nursing a busted lip at my clinic, and something clicked. He'd lost a brother to a rig crash years back, watched a family shatter, so my guts? It hit home, stirred that old loyalty like embers under ash. Word spread through their chapters, riders texting burner phones from Omaha to Tulsa, and by week's end, I'm closing up late, the yards fog thick as regret, when footsteps crunch heavy behind me. I spin, and there they are, Zeke and his weasel brother, plus 2 more Harlan goons, faces twisted like they swallowed lemons, herding Lisa and Tommy from the tree line, a knife glinting cold at the boy's throat. Lisa's pleas muffled in a rag. No games tonight, nurse, Zeke snarls, shoving us toward the rails, the steel humming faint underfoot like it's alive and hungry. You lit a fire, now watch it burn, your little fairy tale. Debts get paid, or everyone rolls the dice. Tommy's whimpering. Miss Sarah, the train. And Lisa's eyes lock on mine, pure terror, but fierce too, like fight for us, while I stand there, fists balled, mind racing. This is it, the bills do run? Beg, or stare him down like I did the locomotive. Zeke circles, tire iron gleaming, mocking, brave now? Pulling kids from death's easy when it's metal, try it with us, sweetheart. One swing, and your hero badge snaps like that lace. He rears back, arm coiling like a snake, and I'm bracing God, let it be quick when the horizon cracks open. Not thunder, but engines dozens, then scores, swelling from the back roads like a metal stampede, headlights piercing the mist, Harleys growling unified, a beast with 400 eyes. Flares arc high, red devils blooming overhead, painting the rails in hellfire glow, and the Harlans stumble, Zeke's swing faltering midair as the ground quakes, bikes circling tight, chrome fangs bared. Iron Jack dismounts center ring, helmet tucked underarm, his face a map of scars and steel steady gaze, boots crunching deliberate as he steps forward. You boys peddle fear like it's gospel, he rumbles, voice cutting clean through the roar, pointing my way without looking. But she faced worse than your petty shakedowns and walked away breathing. Touch her, touch that kid. His mind, you're not just done, you're erased. Wolves don't forget debts either. Zeke's iron clatters to the gravel pathetic ping in the din and the goons scatter like roaches to dawn, curses trailing as they bolt into the brambles, leaving the yard echoing with exhaust and fading footfalls. Jack turns then, slow, his eyes meeting mine, not pity, not conquest, but recognition. Like we see you, Sister Ann says simple, ain't alone no more. That fire you got? It's ours now too. Engines rev in chorus, a thunder vow that rattles my bones loose. Tommy burying his face in Lisa's skirt while she mouths thank you through tears, the flares hissing low, rails slick with crimson promise. And me? I exhale shaky, knees buckling just a touch, thinking holy hell, what have I unleashed? This ragtag army for a nobody nurse, turning my quiet save into some outlaw saga. Dawn breaks soft over Willow Creek, sun gilding the diner windows like fool's gold, and the buzz hits before my first sip of hash brown grease. Folks huddled in booths, replaying the flare-lit frenzy like it was the Super Bowl of small-town justice. I slide in, Tommy spotting me from across the room, bolting over with that truck clutched tight, yelling, "They came for you, Miss Sarah, like knights on hogs." Lisa follows, eyes puffy but bright, squeezing my hand till it aches. I thought we'd lost everything then, that rumble. It was like the devil himself switched sides. The door jingles, and in strides Jack, wolves flanking him quiet, the air thickening as he stops at my table, sliding a weathered bandana across black as midnight, stitched silver, wolves eternal. "Patch or no," he says, gravel soft. "You earned the pack. That's like yours. We collect with interest." Gasps ripple, outsiders don't get inked like that, and I take it. Fabric warm against my palm, whispering, "I didn't ask for a brotherhood. Jack just wanted the kids safe." He nods, faint smile cracking the stone. Nobody asks. That's what makes it real. Outside, main streets, a chrome river, bikes lined curb to curb, flares smoldering in buckets like tribal altars, townsfolk peeking from curtains, half scared, half awed. Engines cough alive as I step out, a rolling wave that shakes the earth gentle, riders peeling off in formation, but a dozen linger, sentinels idling by the tracks, watchful without crowding. Tommy tugs my sleeve. "They're your friends now, right? Like in the movies?" I kneel, bandana tucked in my pocket like a talisman. "More than friends, kid family, the kind that shows up roaring." Lisa wipes her eyes, voice thick. "But what if the Harlans come back meaner? Or the sheriff starts sniffing round the wolves for payback?" It's the question hanging heavy, the one that keeps me up nights, staring at my ceiling fan's lazy spin. Did I trade one monster for another? Sure, the shakedown stopped cold. Widows like Lisa breathe easier. Kids play tag without glancing over shoulders. And yeah, that rumble in the distance? It's become my lullaby, a reminder I'm not adrift anymore. But justice on two wheels, it's messy, ain't it? Burns bright, but leaves scorch marks, draws lines in the sand that folks gotta choose sides on. And in a town like this, sides bleed. Weeks blur into routine bandages by day. Porch sits by dusk, but now, when I cut past the yard, steel whispering old secrets, I spot him. A lone wolf leaning on bars, tipping a chin my way, no words needed. Tommy's taken to sketching hogs on my charts, dreaming big, and Lisa? She's talking community watch, not just whispers. Me, though? I finger that bandana some nights, wondering if courage is a spark or a wildfire, if one nurse's lunge can rewrite a town's rules, or if it's just kicking the can down a darker road. Hell, maybe both. But here's the rub, folks. Was it right, letting the wolves loose like that? True blue justice? Or just trading Harlan bullies for biker kings? Drop your take in the comments. Ever stood your ground and watched the cavalry roll in, only to question if they brought salvation or a new storm? Hit like if this hit home. Share it with that one friend who needs a reminder that ordinary folks flip scripts every damn day. And subscribe, 'cause next week's tale's even wilder, straight from the heart of the unheard. What's your line in the sand? Tell me below. All just stories waiting to rumble.